Let's see this Death Knight. Let's see the Death Knight. Body banger, done with a ship, fine for strike. Zombie tank, draw, crop rotation. Where is it? Where is the card that gives poisonous? Okay, you see, when Steph HS, hey, thank you so for the follow. You see, when you created this deck, you have only one copy of Sickly Grimwalker, and you have one copy of Crop Rotation. You see this? The whole problem is that in any kind of rainbow deck, they run two of this, and two of this, just for the sake of winning the game with one combo, one. Sometimes even one huge combo is not enough for a Rainbow DK to win the game. That is the whole problem. So if you do a Highlander version, you shouldn't focus on this combo. That it just takes out your cards. That is too much for average draw. 3 mana for 2/4 with drawing like 1-2 cards on average in a game, that's too much. You don't want cards like this in your deck. At least I wouldn't put it in Highlander version, you know? If I don't have a reliable combo like Crop Rotation plus an Acolyte of Death. Same as with this card. This card doesn't really work if you don't have this Crop Rotation stuff going on. About everything else, I kind of like the idea that you try to outvalue people with all of these cards, like, where is it? Zemblins, Zombie Tank, stuff like this. That is a good for outvaluing guys. But again, I told you about an Excavate too. You have one Excavate as far as I see. One here. It's 2 here, 3, and probably a 2 mana guy. Where is the 2 mana guy though? Where is your Excavate, Cobalt Excavate for 2? Where is it? I don't see it. You forgot about it. You must have it. If you are going for Excavates, you must have a Cobalt for 2 mana. Yeah. Okay, anyway. Imagine you have this. So you have just 4 cards with an Excavate. So you actually, there will be a lot of games where you have to cycle for at least like 20 plus cards to get that fourth Excavate. That is not reliable at all. Many games end on turn 7 on average. A lot of games. And on turn 7 you will draw just about maybe half of the deck at most. So you will probably have even no chance to get that red going on. That is the problem with Excavates if you put them in a Highlander deck. So I would probably take them out too, like all the Excavates out, just because, you know, that is not really reliable. You know why they put Excavates in Highlander Warrior? Because he has Bran. Bran gives you 2x Excavate because it's a battle cry. That's why they put Excavate in a Highlander Warrior, because you can Excavate twice. That's the whole idea, you know. And here you can't Excavate twice. You don't have Bran. That's the whole problem there with Excavates in a Highlander DK. Our Esca is good. All of these cards are insanely good. Summoning copy of this, yeah, that is cool. That is awesome. That is good. Yeah, I was going to ask if you have this weapon. That is an insane weapon there. Well, all are fine. I like a lot of cards there. I just don't really think that these combos are reliable and Excavates. I kind of think those are extra, you know. What I would add there is that you have this Nerubian Swarmer, for example, and you have a Shambling Zombie deck. You have to add some buffs there. So let's see. Let's is there any filter for just blood runes? Let's see. I would add some buffs there, like something like Blood Tap is fine, you know. Hematurge is fine. You can at least get some more value from your deck if you just put this in there. I would just remove all of the frost spells. You have frost rune only on escalates. So if you remove escalates, you're free to choose one extra rune. So it will be a second blood rune or a second plague rune. With a second blood rune, you get what? Let's see. Corpse farm, by the way. It's fine. With the second blood rune, where is it? There were some cool cards with it. Mon Po. Do you have Mon Po there? Mon Po is insane in this deck too. Mon Po is put in any kind of rainbow deck. Plus it synergizes well with Corpse Bride, because you get 5 corpse from here. It is probably removed on turn 4, and you play Corpse Bride on turn 5. You have it in ETC. You have to have it in a deck. You cannot have it in ETC. And York is too good of a card to have in EDC. You have to have it in your deck specifically. EDC is usually for red, a snake that destroys a weapon, the card that increases the cost of spells by 2, and what else? What else is usually put in ETC? In a blood version, I will show you this card, what is put in ETC. Corpse Explosion is put in ETC usually, because sometimes it's a useless card just that damages your board. That is why they put it in ETC. This card is insane, by the way, against aggro decks. It was always put, sometimes they even put it twice in Highlander Blood Decay. Bone Shredder is fine too in your deck. What else? Hollow Hound. Yeah, if you add some buffs in your deck, I guess Hollow Hound is good. This if you play a Rainbow, well, now you won't actually play Rainbow, but in a Rainbow this is insane too, you know. If you actually want to play a Rainbow, you want to leave, for example, you like the idea of having escalates, you know, this kind of like not really reliable but still a combo. In such case, you have to play a Climatic Necrotic Explosion there, because it is a really huge card in a rainbow variation of the Decay. It has a lifesteal. Don't forget about this, and it increases randomly, but it increases drastically when you spend corpses there. I would also put something like, where is this card? Yeah, something like this triggers this rattle twice. Something like this, the new addition of miniaturized stuff. Yeah, I would add some, you know, buffs, I guess, hand buffs, just to make a deck a little heavier, you know. And I would just think about all of these combos of the Alkalite of Death and stuff like this, because they look cool. Yeah, when it works, for example, you have 7 mana and you play Sickly Greenwalker and you play Crop Rotation. That looks cool, but that works like once in 50 games or something. This card you are missing? Yeah. Well, but the deck is cool. I kind of like everything about it, but you know, kind of like the idea of Highlander Rainbow, but I'm not sure. I guess, you know, I would dance with cards a little here and there. I like the ending of the deck, but I would still, you know, take out this Yogg, for example. Yogg can win you a game solely by itself. You can even add a Prison of Yoxer on there, by the way. Where is it? It's available, right, for you? This one. This card wins you games by itself on turn 7. You just play it out, target opponent's face, and win the game. I'm sure you saw this card before. I would add it here 100% too. You know. Okay. I guess at least I gave you some ideas. I think you're on the right track. But if I were you, I would just experiment there a little with some cards because I really like the deck and I think it can be, you know, made really solid. But you have to experiment a lot with it. That's the problem with Highlander versions. You have to really play a lot of games just to understand, you know, just to hold on of the meta. Not because you can create a perfect deck, but because you will play so many games against different classes so that you come to a ladder and you, for example, see that in 10 games you face 5 mages and you're like, okay, to win these games all I need is to, like, you know, put in put a card that makes spells cost by 2 more in an ATC and I will just win every game. And that is how Highlanders work, you know. They adapt to the new situation that is happening in a ladder, and they get ahead of it. That is the whole idea why there is always Highlander version of decks in a tournament, because people get so well in it they can actually win any game. The only, you know, weak spot that the Highlander deck has is that Reno now costs 9 mana. That's the only problem that any Highlander deck has. That is why you probably saw that Warriors play this card, how is it called? For 2 mana that gives you a coin, just because they will use this coin on turn 8 to get a Reno 1 turn earlier. That's how crucial the Reno is in this deck. Just for this sake, you know, just for, you know, they play this whole card. This card is garbage. This card is just, you know, trash, and they just play this card just to get a Reno 1 turn earlier. That is it. That's how crucial it is. That is why a lot of people just play Highlander wherever it takes, just because Reno is too powerful.